I just finished playing through Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 yesterday. It reminded me that people asked me my opinions on video games and whether or not I thought they could be considered as art. And it's somewhat controversial because just mentioning that I played Call of Duty, I'm sure that the first 500 comments are going to be, what's your gamer tag? Let's play online together. And I actually don't. I don't do the whole online gaming thing. I know that probably makes me weird in the eyes of a lot of people. But I mostly play the games for the story mode, and the reason that I say this in the context of people asking me whether or not I think video games are art, or could be art, or however you want to phrase it like that, is that I think that these games have a very bad reputation because of the sort of Mountain Dew guzzling, screaming obscenities at each other into a headphone reputation that video games get from the focus of most players being playing online and poning noobs and that sort of thing. But I actually think that if you were to look at these as sort of interactive movies, I actually think that these would be some of the best war movies I've ever seen. Not necessarily the some of it is chaotic because you're playing a game at the same time, but in terms of the overall story, especially in the Modern Warfare series, I think that they're excellent. Some of it I can make comparisons to other movies like Black Hawk Down, Red Dawn, things like that, and I can see where they're deriving it from, but it doesn't detract from it. It almost makes it sort of more interesting that they can flesh out and make interactive what would otherwise only be this sort of movie that you're just passively watching. And a lot of people seem to peg these things as sort of propaganda, but there's a lot of subversive aspects to these games, I think, especially in Modern Warfare 2, where the final mission, spoiler alert, the final mission, you're these two British soldiers trying to kill an American general, and you basically have to shoot your way through any American that stands in your way. And there's lots of just things that other people would find shocking that goes over and above the sort of shocking things that you'd see in a lot of war movies, like the famous No Russian mission. That's also from Modern Warfare 2. I think I'll have to play through Modern Warfare 3 to see what I really think of this story the second time around. But I loved that in Black Ops they brought back the guy from World at War. I thought that was a nice touch. And I loved Black Ops, the storyline mode too, especially the way that it moved you around the Cold War. And it sort of almost gives you like a history lesson for some people. I mean, how many people learned about the siege of Saigon through Call of Duty Black Ops or something like that? I mean, that's probably sad for the state of our history classes, but it's also fun and interesting and almost sort of has a tinge of history or a tinge of what if. And Black Ops 2, which is set in the near future, and I'm looking forward to that as well, but no, I'm not going to play online. But the video games, like stories in video games, I think that they can absolutely be art, because if we consider movies art, it's almost an extension of that with more interaction, and at the same time they're actually surpassing movies in terms of sales. Although video game industry has been dipping a bit now that so many people have iPhones and the market's being flooded by cheap games. But yeah, I love the Call of Duty games. I also love Command and Conquer and real-time strategy type of games, the Warcraft games before World of Warcraft. That's one thing that I should say is I really don't get. I've never been a big fan of role-playing games in general, but I really just don't get the whole the massive online multiplayer thing. Totally. When I first saw my friends playing EverQuest before they came out with World of Warcraft, it was exactly what South Park parodied it to be in their episode about World of Warcraft. I was sitting in the living room playing, Ocarina of Time on my friend's big screen TV, and two of my friends were like taking shifts playing EverQuest, and all they did was just go out into the woods and kill a bear, and kill a bear, run back into town, sell it, try and level up repeatedly for like 8 hours, and I just no, nothing that monotonous could hold my attention for 8 hours unless I was being like literally paid to do it and not just leveling up a character. And so no, I'm not really into the whole online multiplayer games or that sort of thing. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. For the audience in the comment section, tell me what your favorite video game is. That's my question for the day. See you later.